I'm sitting there watching everything. I haven't even added myself once. I'm excited. I'm excited. What is happening? Y'all, I haven't done this in a while. Apparently that is clear because your girl can't even add herself out. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. It is your girl. Michelle Allen Franklin, boo. Yes, Mrs. Michelle D.I. Hey, boo. Happy Monday. How you doing? Yeah, you know who I am. It's your girl, Mrs. Divine Intervention herself, honey. Yes, Mrs. Community Builder. Why? Because I don't believe in coincidences. There are no coincidences in this world. Only God's divine intervention in our lives. Mrs. Community Builder, I was rushing it, wasn't I? Because you know your girl's going to give you the good information, boo. The things you need for your mind, your body, your spirit, and your emotion. I feel like I got, what is that? I was rushing trying to get trying to spruce it up real quick. It's your girl. Being who I am, honey, we are here. I am live. Why? Because we're starting a new series, honey. Have you heard? Have you heard? Have you heard? We're starting a new series. Yes, it is the self-love series, boo. Why? Because we have been neglecting ourselves for how long? And just because it's time, right? It's time. And when I say we, I mean me included, right? Have been neglecting ourselves for a really long time. So we're starting a new series for the rest of the year. We're doing this the rest of the year. Before we talk about, anything else, I want to talk about the word the Lord has given me for the year, and that is release. Release is the word of the year. Release is the word of the year because there's so much that we carry, there's so much that we hold, there's so much stored in our bodies on the subconscious level that we don't even know. And y'all know, as I learn about these things, I am going to share them with you. And so, release, we're going to jump into it real quick, is letting go of emotional energy. Letting go of emotional energy, memories, beliefs that are stored in the subconscious that no longer serve you. They no longer serve your highest good. It's not about erasing the past, right? But it's about freeing yourself from being controlled by it. And that's one of the things that happens with the subconscious mind is, honey, you don't even know that the subconscious is controlling everything. You don't even know what you decide to do, what you don't decide to do, all of the things. It is the unprocessed trauma that's in our lives that y'all hear me talk about a lot. This is important to me because, and I feel like it's important to share because when pain is unprocessed, it's stored and it stores in our body. There's a book I learned when I first started this journey, this healing journey. It is called The Body Keeps the Score. One of my beautiful mentors, Debbie Maisha, showed me that book and I read it. It is a hard read, but it talks about how being triggered, you're being triggered and you don't even know why you're being triggered. It's because whether you remember it or not, things that may have happened to you when you were younger, things that happened to you freshly, right? Somebody just taking you for granted, little things like that. Somebody talking to you crazy. Why you jumping? Why you moving? Why you don't want to go? Why are you responding to things the way that you're responding? It's because your body remembers. It's stored in your body. And so it's called The Body Keeps the Score. It literally holds the body. It remembers the trauma. And so your muscles might tighten, your hormones might shift, your brain is rewired to respond to that, and you sip into survival, right? And so it is a means of stealing your joy. You know what I mean? It's why you can smile, but you don't really feel happy. It is Dr. Gabor Matee's teaching that I really relate to and really, try to preach and teach and share at any given time that I can, because his teaching is a little bit different from what the regular trauma teaching is. And it has brought me so much healing. And so I'm like, I need to share this with people. So Dr. Gabor Mate is Mate, Gabor Mate. He says that the trauma is not the event. So like what happened to you. So say the molestation, right? The rape, the essay, like any of the things, right? Anything that has happened to you that you consider to be trauma is not where the disconnect happened. The disconnection happened inside of us, as a result of what happened prior to the trauma. So he gave this example. He said this girl was talking about being molested, right? And he said, "Did you tell anyone?" And she said, "No." And he said, "Why didn't you tell, right? Why didn't you tell anyone?" And she thought about it. And it was that she didn't feel safe to tell or to say anything, right? She didn't trust to say or to tell anything. And he said the trauma didn't happen in the molestation. The trauma happened beforehand in the fact that you didn't have an adult in your life that you felt like you could trust, or that you felt like you could, tell this information to. It is the foundation of Maslow's law in psychology. They talk about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. The very first need as a child is trust versus mistrust. It is establishing that trust. Can you trust whoever it is that's caring for you for whatever reason and whatever's going on in your environment at that time? And one of the things that I really want people to understand and know, because these are the uncomfortable but necessary conversations that we really don't like to talk about, but again, that are necessary for us to talk about and to heal. And so it's uncomfortable because it's like, man, am I blaming my parents for not being around, but maybe they were working or maybe they wasn't there or whatever the reason was? It has nothing to do with that. This is not about blame. This is about healing, and it's about true healing. And if you're going to heal down to the core of you, you're just going to have to be honest about what was happening at that period of time. I promise you, 9 times out of 10, if they would have known, right? If they would have known the ripple effect, that down the line, if I was working 12 hours, I say this all the time, I was working 12-hour shifts, right? Every time there was time for somebody to sign up for an extra shift, I was signing up, trying to make the money, trying to do the things, trying to provide. But in me doing that, I had a child that was home for extended periods of time, right? And so, yeah, she feels some kind of way about that. Does that make me a bad mother? It doesn't. And so we have to break this cycle of, bad and good and guilt and shame about decisions that we made for the best interest at that period of time, right? Because we can't heal that way. And so I love, again, Gabor Mate's teaching. Another teaching that I am, embedding and going to be talking about in the rest of the year is Bradley Nelson. It is the emotion code. He teaches about unprocessed emotions and how they become trapped energy in your body that weigh the body and spirit down. When I initially learned about this and I went to his little chart, and I'm going to share it with you as we go on when we get to that episode. When I looked at the chart, the exact body parts that he talked about that I was struggling with, my body had imploded with swelling, with inflammation. My stomach was swole, my thighs were swollen, my feet were swole. It was the emotion of disappointment. It was the emotion of grief. It was the emotion of, what was the other? Anger. It was the emotion of anger, right? And if you would have just asked me if I was angry, I'd have been like, no, I'm not angry about anything, right? No, I'm not. But on a subconscious level, whether I acknowledged it or not, my body was recognizing and acknowledging and admitting that I was angry about something, right? And so this year, the word is release. Because again, letting go of emotional energy, letting go of memories, letting go of beliefs that are stored in the subconscious. This summer, I did a series called Fast Girls, Hot Girl Summer, right? We talked about fast girls and being labeled as fast girls. And what that does to a teenager and a teenager's mind, when 9 times out of 10, that child has probably been touched inappropriately. And their body and their little mind and their survival mode kicks in and they're responding in that way. But that conversation has never been had, right? I won't say never, but it's not really publicized like that, right? So again, allowing the release, the beliefs that are stored in your mind. I talk with, one of my cousins that always was labeled as a bad boy. But is he a bad boy? Was he just a bad boy? Or was he undiagnosed with grief, with his own trauma, with ADHD? Are you undiagnosed with grief, with trauma, with ADHD, PTSD, right? Are you undiagnosed? So these are the important conversations that we're going to be having the rest of the year. Of course, this is a self-love journey. I mean, mind, body, spirit, and emotions. And so for the body, honey, we're going to be talking about the weight. I'm going to be talking about going to the dentist. Yes, your girl's teeth are shifting. Look, you see I got this gap right here and this little bridge right here. Somebody said I'm going to show you crazy. Yes, my teeth are shifting. So I had to go to the dentist. So I'm going to take you along that journey. I had to go to the orthodontist. I'm going to take you along on that journey, right? I have a dental phobia. How many people out there have a dental phobia? We're going to talk about it, okay? I went and got my eyes checked. I'm 48. My eyes were getting blurry. I was getting a little scared. I said, Lord, do I need glasses? What do I need? What's going on? I don't feel like I'm this old yet. What's happening? Things are happening, right? Nevertheless, when I got my eyes checked, have you gotten your eyes checked? Do you know how many years I've paid on the insurance for that good eye vision? And have not ever, never, I could tell you I could probably count on probably twice. I think twice. I've gone to actually, how many times have you gone? Do you go? Get your eyes checked. We're going to talk about it, right? We're going to talk about all of the things that we neglected when I got my mammogram. Are you getting your mammogram? Fellas, it's Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. Are you getting your prostate checked? We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about all of the things. This is a self-love journey, and self-love, let's go up to it, is a daily practice of valuing yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. It's treating yourself with the same patience, the same kindness, and respect that you give to others. That is saying no to things that drain your energy. Let me say that again for the people back. I said that's saying no to things that drain your energy, giving your body rest instead of pushing through exhaustion. Lord, let me say that again. Giving your body rest instead of pushing through exhaustion. Speaking kindly to yourself, boo. Instead of repeating harsh inner criticism. I can't do it. Oh, man, I was stupid for that. Man, why did I do that? Man, what was that? Man, what did I? Oh, I ain't going to be able to do that. Man, who did that? Man, they say it's 100,000 thoughts going through your mind. And for whatever reason, The negative ones are the ones that we hone in on instead of the positive things that are going in through our mind. You just honing in on the negative. Speak kindly to yourself instead of repeating harsh criticism. Choosing relationships that honor your worth instead of replaying patterns of neglect. We're going to talk about it. So the problem is that we cannot fully talk about self-love if our subconscious mind is still carrying all of the things, right? All the weight, all the old wounds. And so that is why we are beginning with release. And so that is going to be our first episode. We're going to be talking about release later on today. You guys join me. Right now, I got to run, got to go to the radio show. Yep, your girl is multifaceted. Y'all know how I do. Got to get to the radio station and tape this good show. And so we'll be back later on today. And we're talking release today. Release. Yes. All right. Y'all join me later on today. Bye, family.